Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and today I want to make a really quick video talking about the state of PvP in PokeMMO. Now, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and quickly switch out my aids for my training Cranidos hunt, because I'm hatching aids in the background while passively recording this video. So I wanted to talk about this because so many changes have happened recently. Not just hidden abilities, not just alpha Pokemon, but also a ton of move changes. Things like Scizor got access to close combat, and most importantly, probably the most important change was Machamp getting access to Drain Punch and Mach Punch, which is a very big deal, and both of those moves solved pretty much both of the big issues he has, which is speed and sustainability. So we're going to go ahead and cover kind of what's been going on with PvP. All tiers have been changing a ton. NU lost a lot of Pokemon, but also gained a lot of Pokemon. Drain Punch, so good on Machamp. I believe Mach Punch might be an egg move, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't look like it. Let's go ahead and see if I can find it really quick. But yeah, so many things have been changing in PvP. So many things have been all over the place. It's very uncertain. We're not really. It might be a level up move, actually. Let's go ahead and see. Yep, Mach Punch level 22. Pretty interesting. So the best way to represent visually all of the changes going on with PvP is by going to the PvP tab, going to matchmaking sign up, and then going to bans. And here you will see three of the biggest or three of the most important things happening in PvP right now, which is, first of all of these Pokemon are currently in UU, I believe, although let's go ahead and double check. Incorrect. So all of these Pokemon, it looks like, are in OU or UU. It's kind of weird. So it looks like Serperior is currently in OU, but it's being suspect tested. It looks like it already kind of got banned to OU. Machamp is currently in UU. So Machamp and Feraligatr are both currently in UU, while Serperior is currently in OU, but all of these are being suspect tested to be changed, etc., etc. So what that means, what suspect test means, is essentially that they are under very close surveillance. They've been very bad boys. So we want to monitor them, keep track of their win rates, their usage, their percentage. If something is being used, let's go ahead and check some more statistics. If something is being used 40% of the time, it shouldn't have a 58 or 66 or like 60% win rate or so. We pretty much, usually in competitive formats, you'll see this a lot in League of Legends and MOBAs and stuff as well, or any sort of multiplayer format. 52% or so is sort of that range, maybe 54%, maybe like a 4% buffer, 2 to 4% buffer is kind of what you want to see. And what I mean by that is you want to see things between that like 46% win rate up to 54, or maybe 48 to 52. That's kind of the goal to shoot for. Obviously at those high usage rates. Once it gets lower usage rate, that's when it gets a lot more complicated. So like this is like a lot more interesting of a data point to talk about, because Dugtrio might be really good in certain matchups, or it's really good in certain things to take care of certain things. Like Dugtrio might look like it wins more, not because Dugtrio is a really powerful Pokemon, but because Dugtrio really accents its teammates in a certain way and can really take care of certain things and do certain stuff. So it's a lot more complicated than just looking at the win percentage. You have to factor in the usage percentage. And also it can come down to like how many people are piloting that Pokemon, how difficult is that Pokemon to pilot, which means like use, and like how the decisions they have to make. But yeah, there's just so much. This is just a general ramble video, essentially. Just there is so much happening in PvP right now. So let's go ahead and go through these guys one by one. So like I said earlier, Machamp got access to Drain Punch and Mach Punch. Someone left a comment asking me like, hey, like I'm not a Giga Brain PvP guy. Like I don't really understand what's going on. Like why is Machamp getting moved up? I don't understand. And yeah, it's because he essentially, just those two moves, just Drain Punch and Mach Punch, really solved a lot of his issues. Giving him sustainability and giving him priority is a really big deal. Machamp was always really slow. He could always do big damage, and he could always tank at least 1 or 2 attacks, but he'd often only get off like 1 attack before getting killed. So a lot of times what would happen is you'd bring in Machamp, you'd like set up 1 bulk up, or maybe just straight up go for the attack, and then you would get off 1 attack, take 60% damage, and then you're too slow to get off another attack, so you would just die. As opposed to like now, you can come in with Machamp, maybe set up a bulk up, maybe take 40% damage, go for a drain punch, let's say do 70% to your opponent and gain, like, what is that, 30 or whatever, survive the next hit. Now you can either, now you can Mach Punch to, like, finish off that Pokemon, and then, like, you've traded fairly and can maybe drain punch up against slower Pokemon, etc. There's more options. He's at least usable now and pretty good. People are calling him the mini Conkeldurr because he does have pretty comparable stats. I think he's a little overrated, honestly, at the moment, but I could be totally wrong. We'll see how it goes. The biggest issue with Machamp versus Conkeldurr, in my opinion, from my experience, I've tried to make Machamp work a lot in NU, but now he's really good and got banned up to OU and UU. The biggest difference is that Conkeldurr has the HP and defense bulk, which is actually much more important than the special defense bulk that Machamp has. So the special defense bulk is weird for Machamp because most of the time he's going to be dying to things like Psychic or things like Air Slash from Togekiss, or he's usually dying to special attacks, I'd say. And the difference between the 65 special defense to, like, the 80 isn't really that relevant, especially when his HP is that much lower. I actually think Conkeldurr is just much better for sure, in my opinion. Well, for sure, but it almost feels weird to me to call Machamp it is a little Conkeldurr, but it's like a baby. It's like a small not like a small. You know what I'm trying to say? If Conkeldurr is a size 10 men's shoe, Machamp is like a size 6, and then I would consider a baby Conkeldurr like a size 8. So maybe I'm just being semantic, but I think Machamp, it's definitely, you know, a baby Conkeldurr, but I think Conkeldurr is much better, and it's important to remember that also, that 10 attack difference is pretty relevant. Now let's move on to Serperior. So Serperior got access to Contrary, which is its hidden ability. Pretty no-brainer. Serperior has a really good speed stat as well for the OU tier, which is really interesting to see. So for those that don't know, essentially the combo with Serperior is giving it the Contrary ability, which instead of lowering stats, I believe is every time you would lower a stat, you would actually gain that stat. So for example, Serperior plus Leaf Storm, Leaf Storm, where's it at? Leaf Storm. So Leaf Storm is a move that is 90% accuracy, and it harshly lowers the user's special attack stat. So it's 130 base power grass type move that would lower the special attack stages by 2. Instead of lowering by 2, it now becomes a 130 special grass stab type move from Serperior that also is a nasty plot. That also raises the special attack by 2 stages. This is insane. Very, very powerful. It instantly shot Serperior up from a pretty mediocre NU Pokemon, but an NU Pokemon that I absolutely love, so I'm very sad to see it leave the tier, up to a pretty incredible immediate OU threat, which is pretty cool to see. It's a really cool Pokemon, so I'm happy to see it have its time in the limelight, but at the same time, I miss it in NU. I loved it as a little calm mind setter or a screen setter. It was a fun Pokemon. But I don't know. I'm happy to see it be powerful. I'm always happy to see a Pokemon that grow up so fast, you know? But anyways, what's also really interesting about Serperior is because after it gets that damage boost, a lot of times what will happen is a Serperior will be facing down any Pokemon, it doesn't really matter, that's weak to the Leaf Storm, and then your opponent will switch into something like Garchomp, and Garchomp is obviously 2 times resisting, or sorry, he's neutral actually to Leaf Storm, excuse me. They didn't realize that, so he was neutral to it. He probably might die to the second one for sure. If you're Scarf Garchomp, you probably can. I actually don't know I would love to see the calculations on that. Scarf Garchomp probably kills Serperior with like an EQ. I would guess it's not that bulky, which is pretty interesting. So that's, I guess, a good counter to it would be Garchomp. But essentially, what I'm trying to say is that what will happen a lot of the time, but you have to be Scarf Garchomp because Serperior is so fast. People do go 113 speed, 252 speed EVs, timid nature. It's really, really good. Being able to be that fast and to be boosting your special attack every turn. You use the Leaf Storm to boost your special attack, and then you can also have things like HP Ice, like Hidden Power Ice, Hidden Power Fire, or just any sort of all your other moves become that much more powerful. It's not just a increase to your if the ability worked or the stats worked in somewhere it was increased to your grass damaging moves, it would be a lot less powerful. But the fact that it just raises its flat special attack is a really big deal. The fact that it's also going to empower your other moves and your other coverage, like now your coverage is actually strong instead of just being like pretty weak coverage from a non-stat Pokemon. Like it helps a lot. That's probably one of the most powerful things about it, is just in the Leaf Storm is not what matters. It's the boost as well, and it really just increases your coverage, and that's what makes it really, really powerful. Is what I wanted to talk about. Now, let's go and move on to Feraligatr. So Feraligatr got access to Sheer Force, which is a pretty damn good ability, if I do say so myself. So we can see it here. Sheer Force removes added effects to increase move damage. So something like Rock Slide, for example, I believe is a good example. Rock Slide has, what, a 30% chance to flinch normally? Sheer Force would just remove that chance to flinch and then increase damage by 30%, I think it is. Actually, I'm not sure the percentage, but I think it's, I want to say it's like, I think it's like 30%, but I could be wrong. I might have to Google that really quick or something, but essentially it removes that effect and gives you a nice damage increase. Sheer Force also, I believe it gets rid of Life Orb effect or something, or there's something powerful, if I remember correctly, about Sheer Force and Life Orb. I think there's some sort of interaction. I don't use like any slash many slash, I think there's no Sheer Force Pokemon in NU that I really worry about slash no. I don't think there's any in the tier, so I'm definitely not. All my Sheer Force information and understanding comes from Pokemon Showdown and just research. I don't have much practice pragmatically with the move or with the ability, so apologies for not knowing all the mechanics. I believe Sheer Force knocks off Life Orb damage and just increases the damage, but I could be wrong. But the point I want to talk about was, yeah, Sheer Force Feraligatr is really good. So I know a decent amount about the way Feraligatr plays because he was so important in NU, and he pretty much plays the same exact way now. He just has a better ability, to my understanding. So there's two main ways to play Feraligatr. There's Dragon Dance and there's Swords Dance. So Swords Dance, you're often going to see Feraligatr with Aqua Jet because you use the Aqua Jet as a way to sort of make up for that speed. But with Dragon Dance, you're obviously raising your speed and your attack by one stage as opposed to the Swords Dance. The Swords Dance is a lot more aggressive. The Swords Dance set is a lot better against slower teams, and then the Dragon Dance set is a lot better against faster, frailer teams, is probably the best way to say it. Feraligatr's decently fast on its own. I think it's 80 base stat speed, I want to say. I don't have it in my Pokedex. Totally embarrassing for this video, but that's okay. I believe it's 80 base stat speed, 80 or 85. I want to say it's 80 base stat speed. And essentially, with the Dragon Dance set, you just go Dragon Dance into Waterfall, Ice Punch, and other coverage stuff. And then with the Swords Dance set, you go Swords Dance into Aqua Jet, or similar punches. Or you could have Aqua Jet and Waterfall in the SD set, but it's tough, it's awkward. I really think the Dragon Dance set is probably better, although the Swords Dance set is pretty funny, and I kind of respect it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think that covers a lot of the major PvP changes I wanted to cover. There's so much going on. I wanted to make a video on the Machamp change, because the Machamp change actually happened before the hidden abilities happened, but obviously so much stuff happened. So much stuff has been happening on PokeMMO for the past month or so. Like the 10-year anniversary event came out, or sorry, the abilities, the moves were added, Machamp got access to Drain Punch and Mach Punch, and then the hidden abilities came out, and the 10-year anniversary and everything. Everything happened so fast, so I hadn't had time to make a reaction video and sort of discussion video talking about Machamp's move from, he moved from NU to UU immediately. Same with Serperior. They both got immediately moved, which I was really sad about. I really, really wanted to test out Machamp in NU. Apparently it was maybe for the right. Hopefully it was for a good decision. He's at a 55% win rate right now, while being the fourth most used mon in the tier, so he looked pretty strong. Feraligatr's also at a pretty high win rate, but way less percentage used, excuse me. Yeah, that pretty much is it. Just a quick casual ramble video. I thought it'd be fun to throw up. Thought it'd be fun to kind of give maybe a little perspective. I'm not the best PvP player in the world, but maybe give some more perspective to those casual players who aren't keeping up with it. It's pretty interesting. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. If you didn't like it, that's okay. Feel free to dislike the video. If you want to subscribe for daily PokeMMO content, go ahead and click the subscribe button, ring the bell. You can also join the Discord link down below to join a really cool community and see when kind of information, thoughts, and updates like this are happening in real time, and kind of get a real track on the news for PokeMMO. And then finally, if you do want to go above and beyond and support the channel, you can become a YouTube member for $5 a month, drop a Twitch Prime or Twitch sub over on my Twitch, or hit up my Patreon, PayPal, or Venmo, links down below. Any support goes a long way, but I just appreciate your guys' time at all. Have a great one. I'll see you guys later. Best of luck in your PvP battles.